So guys, this is my layering combination of the day. Let me start with this one. But wait, did you know that just because a fragrance is inexpensive doesn't mean you shouldn't sample it first? Visit thedecantboutique.com, where you can buy niche, designer, celebrity, luxury, private lines, and the cherry on top is their stockist of Middle Eastern fragrances as well. They have houses inclusive of Abdul Samad Al Karashi, Lattafa, Paris Corner, Adel Al Zafran, Ajmal, Amaf, Al Haramain, Fragrance World, Arabian Oud, Arabiyat, to name but a few. Decants start at 1 ml to 30 ml and they ship internationally. At checkout, remember to use my discount code C10, as well as check their bio at all time for further promotions and discounts.
All sample sizes available at thedecantboutique.com. Check bio for discount codes to shop the widest selection online.
Welcome to various fragrances from different Middle Eastern houses that I decided to give a 10 over 10. These are fragrances that I would love you to check out. The very first one is going to be from Fragrance World, Casa Mirando Ideal, drawing as inspiration, guys, from that Zerjov Bouquet Ideal. I'm going to spray this one in the air, but I can tell you offset that this is a unique fragrance, sweet, spicy, woody there with an underlying juiciness, in as much as it doesn't include or doesn't list a fruit. So I think there may be a fruit that they decided not to put on the note pyramid because it does interpret as though there's a fruit carrying this particular fragrance. The vibe of the fragrance itself feels very much suited for cold weather. It's dominant in spices like cinnamon and nutmeg, also has a vanillin tone to it, and that vanilla comes across as caramelized because of it mixing with the coumarin. There's also going to be faint wafts of a tobacco tone, hay-like tone there that you're going to be getting from the tobacco blossom. Beautiful fragrance to check out, complex in nature, from the house of Fragrance World. Now another 10 out of 10, guys, without any question marks. Mine just happens to be at this level because I do have other alternatives to this particular fragrance. Francique 63.55, drawing its inspiration from that Gris Chanel. So we do have a host of other Gris Chanel inspirations, but from Fragrance World, I'm going to say they nailed this one. If you're looking for a fragrance that's going to interpret as soft, warm, cozy, smooth, resinous with a bit of cardamom there, a tea note and a honey wrap up of everything, which I always call waxy, then you can add this one to your collection. It also has that infusion of the fig, so there's going to be a little bit of a fruity tone in this, quite comforting. Unfortunately, not that much of a projecting fragrance, but you're going to enjoy it on yourself because it does lean very close to the skin. From Fragrance World, again getting a 10 out of 10, guys, is Francique 63.55, drawing its inspiration from Gris Chanel. The second house, of course, is going to be Lattafa, and I have three giants right here. I've been speaking about those fragrances, so obviously they were going to make it on the 10 out of 10 there. So if you're wondering where to start when it comes to Lattafas, you can start with either one of these. Sir is going to give you a grown, spicy, warm, woody scent built around notes of almond, so do expect a nuttiness to this fragrance together with that cherry finish. It's a complex scent that is unisex toned, though leaning masculine. You can see the dent that I've put on mine, considering that I've just had this one for a month. So this is certainly a 10 out of 10. Another 10 out of 10, of course, from Lattafa, guys, is going to be Eclair. Remember, you can get these fragrances from the Decant Boutique. This is why I thought to just select a few for those who want to try out the decants. They have these ones in stock. Eclair is there. If you're looking for a yummy caramel forward, milky, sugary scent there that's creamy, gourmand, and everything beautiful in there, then you can grab yourself a Eclair. And then there is teriyaki, guys, caramel, honey, leather, vanilla, apricot. That is what to expect from this fragrance. And one thing that is the cherry on top, which made it land on that 10 out of 10, is the lasting power. You will not take away anything from teriyaki when it comes to the lasting power. So those are the three from Lattafa that I thought to give a 10 out of 10 recommendation there for those who just want to know, which ones I would give 10 out of 10s. I have given other 10 out of 10s to other fragrances before, but in this case I thought to zoom on a little bit of something from each house in case you're wondering where to start. Right, from the house of Ajmal, I have these two recommendations, guys. These are fragrances within my collection, so they're not limited to. There's going to be a host of other Ajmal fragrances, so you can drop them in the comment section. I'm talking about what I have physically used and what I have in my hand. So Ajmal Evoke Her is a fragrance that is built around that patchouli with the moss, a little bit of some greenness there, powdery tone to it, spices, woods, very enjoyable scent, drawing its inspiration from that grigio. And then we have Ajmal Evoke Gold. These two are not correlated, so do not expect a continuation of each other. This is a fragrance that's doing its own thing, sweet and fruity and spicy there, with a tonka actually doing the most there, vanilla and a crisp apple. So these are the two guys that I gave a 10 out of 10 from the house of Ajmal. And then, of course, there is the House of Paris Corner. And I thought to give these three a 10 out of 10, starting with, of course, December Vanilla, a fragrance built on a double dose of vanilla with that patchouli, some leather. I think there is some tonka in here. Let's see. Yes, there's some tonka bean, rose and creme brulee. Beautifully done scent with oud, but not an oud that is off-putting, drawing its inspiration from that Keali's sugared patchouli, but not as amped up as that. Actually, a more enjoyable version to myself, because I find the sugared patchouli a little bit pushy there. The next one I gave a 10 out of 10 is going to be this one, Caher Pistachio. Cannot take anything away from this, guys. This is just a crowd-pleasing scent built around that pistachio nut. Another one drawing inspiration from that Keali Yam pistachio. So if you want to try this one, you can, but just make sure you love sweet, nutty toned fragrances. And then there is Bayan Al Asra, a fragrance that has gone around as smelling very similar to that Amouage Guidance. I did bring it in a previous video where I was talking about where it falls short according to my nose, but I still like it nonetheless. It is enjoyable. Bayan Al Asra, guys, is going to have that nutty tone to it, effervescent, fruity, floral, that type of fragrance, girly to an extent. So 10 over 10, guys, for Paris Corner goes to these three, Bayan Al Asra, Caher Pistachio, as well as the December Vanilla. And then the House of Atar Collection, unfortunately I just own one, which I have to give a 10 out of 10 because it's one that I'm enjoying the most, but there is a host of them in this particular bottle, so there is quite a full selection when it comes to this one is built around a nutty tone, some cherry there, vanilla and apple. If you love that style of fragrance, you're gonna love this. There's also booziness to it. This is Atar Collection Khatar Night, and it gets a 10 out of 10 for me. From Afnan, guys, I can recommend Rare Tiffany, but the good thing is I do have in the mail Rare Passion and the other ones coming from the house of Afnan. So this Rare Tiffany is the one I have for now. It's an aldehydic white and yellow floral. If you enjoy your fragrances along them lines, you're going to enjoy this. There is a spicy ginger and spicy pink pepper amidst those florals, guys. A very complex scent, very well made and very long lasting. So Red Tiffany gets a 10 out of 10 from me, from the house of Afnan. From the house of Arabiyat, these are the two that I own, and these for some reason are the popular ones. So they may not be the best from the house of Arabiyat, but I'm going to give them a 10 out of 10 because I've seen these ones making the round, so there's a reason why they're popular. If you love your fragrances built around the fruits, you are going to get exactly that in here. This one is blueberry musk, while this one is cranberry musk. I said it in a previous video where I reviewed them in full that I prefer to use them as a combination because they actually layer well together. So 10 out of 10 goes to these two when it comes to the house of Arabiyat. And because I've spoken about Arabiyat, I might as well give an honorable mention to the house of Arabian Oud. I do not own any of those fragrances. However, I'm going to insert a clip on the side of the screen because I had the privilege to sniff some of those fragrances when Ajwa came with them. I sniffed Madawi the gold edition, as well as Risala. And those are very good fragrances, guys, lasting for days. So I'm going to give those three a 10 out of 10 if you were looking at where to start. But I'm going to clue you up on the best one that I smelled, being that Arabian Oud, the gold edition, the 40 years gold edition. That was the one that did it the most for me. So those are the ones that get a 10 out of 10 from the house of Arabian Oud. Now, moving on to Adel Al Zafran, I just have one to recommend for you, in as much as I have a lot of other Adel Al Zafran. I feel you cannot go wrong with Wafa, guys. If you're looking for that Black Phantom type of fragrance, but this time expect it to be mossy with some green tea there. Expect it to be aromatic and balsamic, but very long lasting. This is a very nice complex fragrance. It does, of course, draw closer to the masculine themed fragrances than it does to the feminine themed fragrances. So that is one thing I can clue you up on. But Adel Al Zafran Wafa gets a 10 out of 10 for me. And then last but not least, remember, this is not an exhaustive list of all the Middle Eastern houses. No, is it an exhaustive list of the best of from each house? I am talking about the ones that I actually have in my collection, right? From the house of Amafa, I decided to draw these two, all right? So this one is going to be the best contender for that Delina exclusive. If you're looking for something as par with Delina exclusive, then Club de Nuit Imperial is going to do it for you. A beautiful rose with an incense and a powdery tone to it. Lovely and feminine leaning, but men can wear this as long as you like your fragrances built around the rose. And the one that I can certainly say without a doubt is unisex to my nose, although it's marketed as Amaf Club de Nuit Women, is going to be this one. This one, guys, Club de Nuit Intense Women is spices, oud, chocolate, woods, and the oud is not too much, and there is a rose that wraps up everything. So if you love your fragrances built around a rosy note, you're going to love this fragrance. So that's a wrap, guys. Those are some of the fragrances that I decided to pull out of my fragrance cabinet and give a 10 out of 10. These fragrances are not limited to all the Middle Eastern fragrance houses out there, but I did this deliberately because these are some of the fragrances that you are going to find on that thedecantboutique.com website, and you can buy them as decants from that website. Remember, there are also houses like Abdul Samad Al Qurashi, Al Haramain. I do not have those. That is why I did not include them here. But if you are looking for any one of these fragrances, go to that website and remember at checkout to put that discount code C10 so that you get a further discount on your purchase. C Chronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's meet in the comment section where we're going to discuss more about fragrances. Remember to turn on post notifications, guys. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one. And remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.